12, 10. There's that 22. I was looking for it. I was looking for it, Mitzi. It's also what? The personality of suffer. Oh, why did I say it's the personality of suffer? I'll tell you why. Remember, I'm sure I said it. Oh, heart. Okay. When I said that suffering, the heart of suffering has to do with sex, death, and money, that was the 8. All right? Anytime you're breaking down letters in words, the vowels are your heart. Okay? The consonants, which are the other letters, makes up the personality. All right? So, and when you put the two together, you have the vehicle of expression. Maybe I'll have time enough to go over this a little bit more before the show is over. Maybe. Anyway, so we'll go back over here and we'll see that, what did we say? What came up to 22? Trees. Thank you, Mitzi. Trees. All right, the vehicle of expression in a tree is a 22. We already know that transformation is taking place. 22. A master number. The other one is an 11. And I think I had an 11 in some of these words. Wouldn't it be wonderful, like you said, Mitzi, if I had this whole great big thing out? There it is. It's the heart of leaves. Okay? So we know that trees. We know that trees is a master number. So it has a tremendous job to do. In your life, all of us have tremendous jobs to do. The biggest job we'll ever do is upon ourselves. What do I mean? Not changing, not altering, not striving, competing, comparing. I'm not talking about any of those things. The greatest job we'll ever do in this life is celebrating ourselves. Learning to love, learning to incorporate, learning to listen, learning to establish and maintain this relationship so that we can authentically be present for ourselves and therefore carry to the other person the essence of who we are and not have some guileful motives, not have I'll use this so I don't have to turn it back, not wanting something, especially from someone. We don't need anything if we have achieved that master work upon ourselves. We are content. I think Paul said that in the Bible. In whatever state I've found myself, therefore am I content. Even though he had been up to 14 heavens, and the things he wanted to do, he couldn't do, and the things he did, he didn't necessarily want to do. He was always in conflict with that one thorn in the flesh, working on trying to be at one with himself, the atonement, if you will. At one meant atonement. So, 22, the master builder. We are a tree in this earth, and we are planted in the soil. That's why those F's were looking like trees, darling. We are here to give shelter, to be nourished, to be cared for by the sun and the rain and the wind and the elements of the earth. And because we are given to, we can give to. We have one hand extended and the other hand down. And if we were to try to cut off that source of coming from above to giving, the tree would die. It would shrivel up and die because it has to be this kind of movement. Coming from above, down, going back up. All right. Let's go back. What was that other thing we were going to talk about? Oh, yeah. How wanting something from another produces a begging bowl. Begging bowl. Begging bowl. I want this today. I want this tomorrow. I want this the next day. I had this last week, so I'm going to have it again today. We are endless creatures, never satisfied. Want. Maybe, Mitzi, I know you remember because you're excellent at that. What was want vibration without me having to do it again? Think about it, baby. And I'm going to do this one. Put you on the spot, didn't I? Was it? I did that because Mitzi has got 99 fives in her name and her destiny. Not that you want anything, huh, Mitzi? So we got what, 12? No, that was a 13. So that was death and transformation. Okay. Of course, let me interject here. Why? M for Mitzi. We are creatures of want. We are never satisfied. Begging bowl. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. Let me see. We got 2 twos. What do we want first of all? Relationships. We gotta have that relationship we think we don't have. We gotta have that man we think we gotta have that girl, or vice versa, or whatever. Anyway, let's go on with the show. Make sure I got them right. We got a 5, we got a 9. Got a 6. Okay, 5, 4. So we got a 20. And we've got a 9, 16, 21, 28, 30, 35, 38. Mitzi, I'm going to tell you, one day it's going to happen. And I'm going to be left here standing, and something that I'm writing or saying or doing or something's going to mismatch. It hasn't happened yet. And when it happens, I'll be there. I was going to say I can't wait. I can wait. Always. It's not a waiting, it's an unfolding. But I love this. 58. The begging bowl. The suffering. The wanting. Wherever it's at. The death and transformation. So what am I saying? You have these desires for the people, projects. I'm thinking food, I don't know, whatever, a certain kind of body. I want to weigh, 130 pounds, whatever that is, idea. You have these desires, but because you have the desire, you're going to suffer. I think it was Buddha that made that plain. You're going to suffer. But in the suffering, I am not trying to say that you're going to overcome desire. You're not going to overcome desire. I have a desire to stand here and do this, or I wouldn't be doing it. It's something that are our natural inclinations, are our desires. But in the process of that suffering, you're going to be transformed. It is necessary for you to want that special guy or girl or both or whatever it is. Whatever it is that you want, you need that desire to be able to overcome it, to incorporate it, to see that you don't need it. You got me? You don't need it. You don't. What am I going to do, Mitzi? You don't need it. Look at all those 5s. Again, what do we have? The sun, what do we have? Nourishment. What do we have? Light. And what is our greatest need? Innocence. The tree. The tree is innocent. The tree is not going to say, "Sun, don't shine on me today. You know, you've been shining for about 6 days. It's really hot. My leaves are drying up. My roots are barren with lack of water. Please don't shine on me today. I can't take it." Rain, stop falling. Stop falling. Don't you see I'm drenched? I cannot hold these branches any longer. They're too heavy. My burdens and concerns are too heavy. Please stop raining on me. I'm saturated. I'm flooded. The tree does not say that. The tree is at one-ment with whatever the sun supplies. We can also transform that word into the Son of the Father. Our lives are perfect exactly as they unfold. It is also written in the Bible, "My grace is sufficient for me, is sufficient for me, is sufficient for you." My grace, his grace, her grace, is sufficient for us for the day thereof. Grace. (16, 19, 25, 7). God's number, you've seen me write this on other shows, of perfection, contentment. Be contented. Be contented. Okay, let's stop for a while. See what else we're going to do. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's open up my book, which just happens to be the subject of desire. Not that I am consumed with it. Let's just open it up as some on this page. Well, this is Charlie. This book is about a young boy who is almost 14, and 13, in fact, the age of transformation. But he wants a genuine red and white sandblaster, more than anything else in the whole wide world. The only problem is he doesn't come from an affluent enough family to be able to have the money to buy the genuine red and white sandblaster. But that does not stop him from wanting it. Nor does it stop you or me or the next fellow from wanting whatever it is that we want, that we think that we can't have, so we're going to do whatever it takes to get it, even though life is saying, okay, 2 different roads. You're going to go on the road to try to get it because you're going to be transformed, or you're going to turn away from it and not go on it and always yearn for it. So traveling the road to get it is your road of suffering, but exaltation. We can also apply that to Jesus, if you will. But anyway, Charlie wants this red and white sandblaster so bad that every moment that he's alive and awake, he is dreaming and daydreaming about a genuine red and white sandblaster. On top of that, he wants to be the one and only kid in town with one. Don't we all? Don't we want to be well respected and looked up to and admired and thought that we're intelligent and beautiful and witty, and we never want to think we're translucent, though, do we? We never want that. We want to seem like we are just a complete mystery and hold these wonderful secrets that everybody else would want to have. It's not true. It's not true. You are transparent. You are translucent. In every move, every action, every word, every expression you utter and say and release. But anyway, getting back to Charlie. He wanted to get this board so bad that the book opens up, he's in the classroom, and his English teacher is admonishing him one more time for not paying attention. But how could he pay attention? How can any of us pay attention to what is not important to us? You can stay from here till the cow comes home, right where you sit, and people can garble at you, if you will, about what you should be doing, should be thinking, should be wanting, should be having. But if it is of no interest to you, it will not touch you, because you are on your own personal journey of desire. You are on your own personal reflective and transformative journey of transformation. Anyway, he gets sent to the office, and he's supposed to see the principal, but the principal wasn't in. He left, and on his way home, unbeknown to him, he discovers a bracelet amongst some cigarettes and trash and all dried leaves and dirt, and he picks it up. And the bracelet is so beautiful. It is studded with jewels and rubies, emeralds, diamonds. I mean, it's miraculous. Well, the first thought that he thinks is, my God, where did this come from? You know, I could turn it into, someone for a reward, but I wouldn't know where to go. So why not? Because we're so insistent and so impatient, and we sometimes interpret signs in front of us as something that's very meaningful and beneficial to us to help us get whatever it is that we want. So we use that as the sign to do that. Well, anyway, that's the one he chose. And he said, I'll go sell this bracelet at Landau's Jewelry, and then I'll get the money to buy my genuine red and white sandblaster. It did not matter that the bracelet was worth way more money than the genuine red and white sandblaster, which, did I mention to you, transformed itself. Not only was it a skateboard, and the fastest one known to man, it could turn itself into a stealth flying airplane and a jet ski, and could be folded up small enough to go in his back pocket for convenience sake. Anyway, so he just turned up his legs to running gear speed to get to Landau's jeweler to sell that bracelet. Well, on the way